Take a quick look at the table there, what that result does to it. Portugal lead the way with 3 points, Poland next, and Italy on just a single point each. Well, Kevin, Portugal overall good for the win?
Oh, without a doubt. You mentioned the top quality football being played, and particularly in the second half, it was all played by Portugal. I thought they looked excellent in wide areas. I think they were picking the right passes out at times when necessary, and in midfield, they dominated. Willy Carvalho and Ruben Neves, who we spoke about Neves before the game, they dominated the football. And for so many players within that Italian side that were looking for new caps or certainly an introduction into Mancini's style, I was very disappointed. But Portugal, full value, it could have been a lot more that tonight, than the 1-0.
Brian, for Roberto Mancini, lots to think about, really.
Yeah, well, I said prior to the game, I thought he was using these matches as trials. I mean, you look at the fact that he used 22 players over 2 games. It shows his attitude to matches. He wasn't convinced with how some of the players have done in the friendly games that he's played previously, and he's decided to use these games to have a look at players. One of his problems is with the league only starting now. He's not had a good look at the form of players yet this season. So he's trying to give fellas a chance to prove to them they're good enough. Very few of them tonight or in the first game would have convinced them.
It's how they play, Brian. You know, we were looking at this Italian side, and are they going to show us something tonight? Are they going to play with real pace? I mentioned Chiesa in the first half. Yes, he showed it in glimpses, but throughout that side tonight, they lacked in so many different areas just to get round the pitch and close down and do the fundamentals right. They didn't do that this evening at all.
OK, we'll have more depth analysis after the break. So it's an opening victory for Portugal. In League A, another loss for Roberto Mancini and Italy. Stay with us for analysis next. Happy faces all round for the home side in the Stadium of Light. Andre Silva's goal just after half-time. The difference on the night. Kevin, we said overall that Portugal were worthy of their win. They had plenty of chances throughout the game. They pretty much were the dominant side, weren't they? Yeah,
again, more so in the second half. I think they stepped it up a little bit second half. I think they started then to have more runners off the ball, particularly forward runners into advanced areas. And it's where the goal came from, actually. There probably was a slight mistake, probably in the build-up to it from Italy's defence.
Let's take a look at it.
Well, it is. I mean, it's a good ball played into Carvalho, but Brian touched on Bruno at half-time. I think he was excellent. They know quickly they've got a 3-on-2 here. And particularly Andre Silva getting himself into advanced position, pulling away from defenders, gets his first touch right, one touch, little touch out of his feet. There's only one place he can actually put that. Backtracking the Italian defenders, trying to get back goal side, and he takes a shot early and plays it beyond Donnarumma. It was a really good finish, and he actually takes it off Bernardo Silva's toes. So I thought, actually, at first it was actually Bernardo Silva's to hit it, but it was excellently worked. And that's what we saw with Portugal in the second half. More advanced runners, getting themselves into good positions in the penalty area. And they deserved it. But, as I said before, it could have been more, but that was an excellent finish from Andre Silva.
Excellent and calm finish as well. He didn't panic in the situation.
Yeah, I mean, Gary touched in commentary there on it didn't quite work out from AC Milan, but he had a brilliant record in the Europa League. It just wasn't working for him in Serie A. He's already amongst the goals this season for Valencia, so he's almost rebuilding his career there. But you can see what a quality footballer he is. You say, calm in the area, taking his touch nicely, and he's not tried to just smash it as hard as he can. He's just placed it beyond Donnarumma into the corner there.
I think it's a big goal from Kevin. Against Italy, there's a bit of status about it. A lot of the goals he scored 9 goals in the qualifiers rather for the World Cup, but they were against the lowest ranked teams, against Andorra, against the Faroes, against Hungary. But this is a massive goal. He didn't score at the World Cup itself. A goal against Italy, there's a bit of status about it. Might give him the confidence to drive on. He's only 22. If he continues that type of form, he might become the man that, not sort of the same style as Ronaldo. He'll never be as prolific, but he could at least be the main man that they can rely on. Because it looks like the midfield players and the wide players that they've got plenty of quality. Very impressed with the youthful players they brought in. I mean, the back four tonight, only Pepe from the team we're used to seeing. Guerrero usually would have been the left back. Font of Southampton when he was at Southampton centre half, and the little right back from Southampton as well.
Suarez.
So Cedric. Yeah. He'd generally be the right back, but the two full backs tonight
but
were magnificent.
From Juve, Cancelo, the right back. he looked a hell of a player. Now, we'll probably see a lot of him in the Champions League this season, but you picked him out quite early, Brian. It was an outstanding performance from him.
Andre Silva, one to watch. Another one you picked out who'd be one to watch as well as Bruma. He impressed you too, Brian?
Yeah, well, I thought as a front, the front combination players, this Bruma doing his tricks again. He's at Red Bull Leipzig, had a very good season last season. We see him tonight. I mean, he's only starting in international football as well. Showed a bit of strength and tenacity at times in defensive positions. Watch him getting back here, across to the full-back. You know, this is not stuff fellas sneak up off the ground. It's coached, but also they have to have an instinct to do it and do the dirty side of the say, get back and help out your full-back. But when he got on the ball, he was threatening. Didn't always pick the right pass until the goal, but his pace and the directness, it made him stand out for me in the game against Italian defenders. Not the highest quality Italian defenders we've ever seen, but still, they're good players, and he showed himself tonight.
Kev, they did get the goal, but they kept going, searching for a second, didn't they?
They did. That was so many times throughout the second half. I mean, that's a brilliant strike from Bernardo Silva. What a save. We spoke about Donnarumma before the game and the pressure in replacing Buffon in goal there for Italy. But they were so much more of a threat. They really were. They were creating so many chances. Silva again here, getting himself onto his left foot just to... Oh, sorry, that's Pizzi, actually, sorry. Going across Donnarumma into the corner. Donnarumma with another good save. But... again, we just saw a much more positive performance. I think in the first half, we highlighted that Portugal were the better team without necessarily being clinical finishing. They were more clinical in the second half. I think they were a little bit more adventurous in the second half, and that's why we saw them get the victory, yeah.
Brian, Renato Sanchez didn't impress anybody on his loan at Swansea last season, but he came on tonight and showed glimpses of the player he could be.
He was outside of Ronaldo. He was their best player at the Euros as a 19-year-old kid when they won the championship in 2016. He was smashing. Then he got lost for 2 years, went to Bayern Munich for a massive fee, played a little bit in his first year, not an awful lot, a lot of quality and hard to get into the team there. The word from those in the know was that he wasn't living the best lifestyle in terms of impressing the German, the people around the club at Bayern Munich. And last year, Paul Clement, who had been at Bayern Munich as assistant, I think, with Ancelotti, took him to Swansea. And he started 9 games and came on in 3 for Swansea. But he really, really struggled to the stage where it was almost embarrassing. He couldn't pass the ball with any accuracy, 10 yards, couldn't run, couldn't get around the pitch. And he was part of Paul Clements losing the job. I was delighted to see him. He hasn't started yet for Bayern Munich this year, but glad to see him. Must have done something in pre-season that the coach has gone to pick him again. You see the things he's doing this early stage. He's only out for a few minutes, but he's lively, aggressive, getting forward from midfield, sees the build-up going on here. Now he's on the halfway line and he sees a bit of a gap, and away he goes. He's in a position to join up and get ahead of the ball and come up with things. And that was the sort of stuff, not just his neat play as a midfield player that had good vision and was able to pass the ball. It was his ability to get forward like this. Look at him running here, doing the overlap. They don't pick the right pass, but it breaks to him and he gets the shot away. So, you know, maybe there's going to be another spell for him, that it's going to come again from a 21. I don't see him getting into the Bayern Munich team, though. That's the problem, unless he...
Well, I think it helped him tonight, the reception he got. He came on back to Benfica, back in the stadium, I suppose, and that gave him a bit of a lift coming on. But for all Brian's highlighted there, look, for the lack of minutes that he got tonight, we saw him wanting to make an impression, so that's a good thing for him, yeah.
Kevin, he's pretty much the new kid on the block, one of the old kids on the block. Of course, Pepe up to his old tricks again.
I know. What did Gary say? If centre-half, yeah, pull a shirt, yeah, drag someone back, step across them, but don't do that. That could have been extremely nasty. He goes high. Luckily for him, I think. What is it? It's Takimi. Actually, he sees him coming and jumps out the way. But that could have been a horrendous tackle. And he knows himself. He's trying to shake the referee's hand, trying to get the referee back on side. And lucky boy. Yeah.
As a player, almost surprised he's still on the field.
Yeah, well, exactly. We've seen that once or twice from him before, haven't we? Let's be fair.
We certainly have. OK, well, lots more still to come. Kevin and Brian will stay with us.